Hey, it's Kevin McCarthy, and just want to help you get savvy so that if you are selling your home and you get an offer from a VA buyer, the VA is an absolutely fantastic program, but there are a few seller secrets that you want to make sure and that you're savvy to before you enter into contract, and you can handle up front in order to make sure that you have a smooth transaction.
Now, pest inspectors will notate that this, where the fence meets the house, is a conducive condition. However, if they write it up on the WDI report, which is the wood destroying insect report, as a conducive condition, the VA doesn't like that and they want it to be corrected. So it's not really something that needs to be corrected. You want to pay attention to it and make sure that you monitor this area for pest activity. But this can give you a little bit of a headache if it's written up on the WDI report as a conducive condition. This part of the house, a lot of builders do this, where they pour the slab, and then when they go to pour the driveway, they put in this wood piece here. It's just a spacer that goes in there, then there's the driveway. Well, a pest inspector will notate that as a conducive condition for termites because it potentially is wood to ground contact, and the insects could get in there and eat the wood, and then that's conducive to getting them into the house at some point. So we run into this with the VA because the VA absolutely wants zero conducive conditions on the WDI report in order to do a VA loan. So sometimes what you got to do is you got to remove this here, like we did here at the end, and you dig out the wood and you fill it with a concrete filler substance. And so it was done also on the other side over there in order to correct this problem so that we could get it to pass the VA. The VA does not like bushes being up against the house. So these have been cut back now so that it was clear for the VA WDI inspection. But just make sure when you got stuff that's up touching against the house, that's a no-no. They absolutely don't like that. It's going to cause you a headache to have to go back and do it later. So just make sure you got some clearance from those bushes and you'll be home free. The soil line here on this house was way too high. It was coming up to here where it was just, you couldn't even see the foundation or the parch coating here on the foundation. And so that's a conducive condition for termites to get in underneath this siding. And the VA absolutely does not like that. So this had to be trenched out next to the house to allow at least 4 inches of space there so that you could see if there was a termite tube or anything. So that's another thing. Just make sure, walk around your house. It'll save you a big headache later.
So obviously, based on what I talked about, the VA does not like conducive conditions for termites at all. That's one of their big things, their pet peeves, so to speak, when it's getting a VA loan. And so there's also the situation of who pays for that stuff, right? Usually it becomes an issue. It's an irritation during the process when you have to deal with it during the real estate contract, and you're under a time constraint to try to get the loan done as well. And they can't move the loan forward without these corrections being made. So knowing that and taking care of those things can make things easier for you and smoother. It'll make your transaction a whole lot smoother. Another thing that they really care about is property condition overall. And so some siding damage, things like that, when they're doing an appraisal, the appraisers will pick some things apart a little bit more than a conventional appraisal will doing a VA appraisal. They're very specific about the comps that they need to use for a VA appraisal too. They're a little bit more picky in how they use the comps and make adjustments. That can be another little bit of a point of contention that you just want to be aware of the VA appraisal process. If they can't find good comps, they will invoke Tidewater. Now, the VA invoking the Tidewater Initiative. So what is the Tidewater Initiative? It's when the VA appraiser believes that the property won't make value because of the comps that are available, and they invoke Tidewater in order to give the listing side, the seller or the listing agent, the opportunity to provide comparable data and reasons for the value in order for it to support the contract value. And so, it doesn't have anything to do with Tidewaters. The reason it's called Tidewater is it was started in Tidewater area of Virginia, and it was a test program, and then it just went over the rest of the country, and the name just stuck. So that's where Tidewater comes from. I know it kind of can be confusing, but that is one other thing that you can run into with VA loans. Now, the VA loans are a fantastic program. Cheers to all of our veterans out there, and thank you for your service. It's a fantastic program. You just want to know what it is that you're going to go through when you embark on this journey with a VA loan. So I'm Kevin McCarthy. It's another day in real estate, and let's get savvy. Cheers.